Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special edition of World Lacrosse Now. My name is Daryl Seibel, and it's my great pleasure to welcome the president of World Lacrosse, Sue Redfern, who's with us today to help commemorate the one-year countdown to the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship in Towson, Maryland, USA. Sue, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me, Daryl. Looking forward to our chat.
Let's begin by talking about the significance of the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship. That event begins 1 year from today, June 29, 2022, and in many ways, it marks a true return to play for international lacrosse following the pandemic.
Indeed, it's going to be a great day for us a year from today, in particularly marking our safe return to fields of play after what will be nearly 2 years without world events by that stage. But the importance of returning to world events can't be underestimated. The work that the players have had to do, the dedication that they've had to put in to keep lacrosse going and to keep their faith with lacrosse as a game and belief that we will return to play is an enormous step forward, that we will get there. And remarkable that the innovation that they've been showing during our lockdowns in terms of keeping their fitness and their activities going, even though they haven't been able to play competitively.
So if you can, cast your mind forward a year to Towson. What type of atmosphere are you expecting to find at that World Championship?
I'm expecting it to be exciting. I'm expecting it to be an incredible atmosphere and energy, large crowds because we're in the USA, but excitement, a relief that we can all get back together again. I think we've all been craving world events and craving the opportunity to be with each other again. And the opportunity to watch top-level women's lacrosse, wonderful displays of lacrosse, and seeing how athletes have been able to develop during the lockdown. It's just going to be a wonderful, exciting, I think, almost party atmosphere, I suspect, next year.
I suspect you're right. Now, there'll be 30 teams participating in the World Championship. That'll be the largest ever. Mm-hmm. 5 of those are making their debut on the world stage, at least at this level. What does that say about the growth in interest and participation in lacrosse worldwide?
I think reaching 30 is a milestone for the women's game. As you say, it's the first time that we've ever done it. But I'd also say that there were more than 30 teams who wanted to get in because it was the first time we've ever had to run a qualifying event to actually choose the 30 teams who were going to be in. So that says a huge amount about the development work that's going on around the world, both from World Lacrosse doing development, but also what our national governing bodies and continental federations are doing. And it's really exciting to see 5 new countries participating. Those 5 new countries are Norway from Europe, Argentina, Puerto Rico and Jamaica from Pan America, and Uganda from Africa. Okay. And they may have put in men's teams before, but they've not ever put in women's teams into the senior women's event. So it says an enormous amount about what we're doing in terms of development. And for some of those teams, 2 of them, Puerto Rico and Jamaica, they've also developed from the underage group, the under 19 age group 2 years ago, to be putting in a senior team into this event as well in 2022. So again, showing depth and development in the countries.
Just another very special element of what will be a very special World Championship.
Indeed.
In your capacity as president of World Lacrosse, what's your message today to the athletes who are preparing for this event? 365 days from now, they'll be on the fields of play competing. What's your message to those athletes?
I think my message is thank you. Thank you for your continued belief in your goals, continued perseverance and training with innovation, for continuing to believe in World Lacrosse and World Lacrosse events and playing your part to turn the tide against the pandemic. I think we've been really impressed with what our lacrosse athletes have been doing in their professional roles as well as their lacrosse work during the pandemic to help turn the tide. And keeping within the regulations of each of their national governments. And that's brilliant. But I'd also say, be excited and keep your focus on next year. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity and fantastic for the new countries, for their athletes to be being seen for the first time.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. My final question for you. The summer of 2022 is going to be a remarkable year for international lacrosse. Not only does it begin with the Women's World Championship in Towson, Maryland, but we move quickly from there to the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama, and conclude with the Men's U21 World Championship in Limerick, Ireland. This will be a very busy summer of international lacrosse. How much are you looking forward to that?
I can't wait. It's going to be immensely busy, very challenging for us in World Lacrosse to put this number of events on in the same year. But it's also a wonderful opportunity for us, not as we return from the pandemic, to showcase lacrosse in multiple different ways, men's and women's, underage, seniors, and our new sixes event for men's and women's at the World Games. And just a wonderful opportunity for us to show the world what lacrosse is all about. And I can't wait to actually see what it's all going to pan out like next year. It's
It's going to be a fantastic year. Sue, thank you very, very much for making time for our discussion today. Thank you, most importantly, for your leadership of World Lacrosse and all you do to support athletes around the world. We're very, very grateful.
Thank you for having me.